Hello everybody and welcome to Big Kev's Thursday cooking group, part of the Men of Hope and Black Swan Health. I hope you're all well, and I hope you've been trying some of the recipes we've cooked over the last few weeks. Not only because they're really nutritious, they're fun as well. I did have quite a bit of feedback on the omelettes. A lot of people seem to enjoy making those and said they were very filling. Well, today what we're going to do is we're going to do a Spanish style pork and a chorizo sausage casserole. We say Spanish style because you couldn't call it Spanish. You have to put style, otherwise it becomes an illegal thing in Europe. You've got to have a generic area, so you've got to call it by style, and that way you can't be done for falsifying a recipe. Anyway, let's get started. First thing we're going to do, we're going to wash our hands. Excuse me while I stand up. Oh, and I hope you've all been remembering to wash your hands. It becomes habit, you know, it becomes just natural to wash your hands every time you're in a kitchen now. Because you've been doing it in the classes, it's just, you know, I'm not saying you've got dirty hands, but if you've touched something, you know, you cross contamination. Right, to start off with, I've got a pot on the stove. It's been on for about 15 minutes. It's water because we're going to have rice. So I'm just going to stand up. I've got 2 cups of rice. Just excuse me, just long grain rice. So that's going to go into my saucepan of water now, and we'll let that cook while we get on with the other things. So I'll just stand up 1 minute. Yeah, that's my rice on. So now let's get with the prep for our Spanish chicken. Ingredients today, apart from the rice, we've got some nice chorizo sausages. We have a nice piece of pork. I've got three leg steaks, usually used for snitch sorts of things, so they will be tender. I've got a chicken stock cube. I have some spring onions, only for the garnish afterwards. I have some red onions, because you want a bit of colour in the dish. I have 1 green capsicum or pepper, whichever you like to call it. Some nice virgin olive oil. A tin of beans or white beans or butter beans. Spanish uses a lot in their cooking. A lot of Mediterraneans do it. It really boosts the meal. We have my favourite, as you know, is the classic of the Dolmo's tomato and basil sauce. I have pepper and I have salt. But we probably won't use salt today because the chicken stock cube is very highly concentrated in salt. So let's get started. The rice is cooking. First of all, we need to let's prep the onions. So we're going to cut the onions in half. And we're just going to slice them today. Not too fancy, just into nice slices. You could dice if you want. I like the slices because I like onion. And I think it looks better as a bigger piece of onion than just a little bit blending into everything. So the 2 onions. You know, I've not used garlic today. That's because chorizo sausages are full of garlic as well. So, yeah, I like garlic, but you know, I suppose there's only so much you do, really. But so this is our 2 onions all sliced up. Now let's put them back into the dish. Just give my hands a wipe. And I'll give my board a quick wipe down. Not that it matters, but we're going to use meat now. So, actually, we'll cut the capsicum next. We'll top and tail it. This is the easiest way to do it because you want to de-seed it. So you've topped it and tailed it. Cut down into 4. Down the white piece in the middle if you can. The white bit is like the stalk, and it can be tough. So there's the inside rubbish. Put that in the bowl in there. Any seeds, and then we have the top, the lid. I'm just going to cut around the stalk area. And don't forget all these vegetables. I always wash them first. I know you haven't seen me wash them, but always wash your vegetables first. They might not have dirt on them, but they might have chemical. They might be sprayed with something. You never know. So on with our capsicum, and again we cut into slices, just like the onion. Oh, you can smell this is a beautiful capsule. That's fine, that's fine. Cut this one in half that way, and then there we go. A little bit. And again, we'll put them in a bowl ready for afterwards. Remember what we said when we first started, a mise en place, preparation is the key to cooking. Must do it. Once again, I want my board down. Now, I'm going to open these beans. The water they're in is quite horrible. So what we do, we strain them and wash them, and then we can leave them to dry. So I just put them in a small colander and run them under the cold water. Excuse me. So there's my small colander. Beans in, over the sink. Rubbish. And I just rinse them under the tap. That gets rid of all the water which has got sort of thickened, and you think, oh, that looks nice, but it's not. It's all the they're fermented sort of thing in the tin. So that's the beans on the side to dry. Now I'll do one more. These spring onions I've got are mainly for the garnish afterwards. So I will do them now because that way, like I said, we've got everything. So what we're going to do, we're just going to chop these up with a large knife and just. I don't know if you've all been practicing with your knives. You know, like I said last week, we can chop and we use a claw, or you can just slice through like we're doing there. And this is purely what we call garnish afterwards. So, a couple more. Or you could use parsley. You can use. I like spring onions. Give a bit of a crunch as well. So there we go. That's the spring onions, and we'll put them into their bowl, ready for afterwards. Give our board a wipe again. This cloth I've got with some sanitizer on it, so it's good. It's food safe. So that's that. Now I'm going to cut the sausages up. With the pork, I said I've got 3 nice steaks. Now, you like a little bit of, all meat, the flavourful areas. So I actually clean my knife and I'll just give it a quick sharpen. Remember we did sharpening the other week. You can sharpen with a sharpener if you get any Kmart or anything, or you can do it by hand. Okay, so just going to thinly slice up the meat, not too thick. You want it to cook fairly quickly, and you can see the bits of fat in the meat. But like I say, you need that. It will be broken down, and it will taste beautiful. So that's 1 steak. That's 2. On to the second steak. I hope you don't have to use pork. You can use chicken. You can use whatever you want. Pork is probably my favourite meat, followed by chicken. It really depends on how much it is at the shop at the moment. As you know, it's quite ridiculous the price of meat. I like my lamb, but I think these lamb came from with the golden fleece. The amount it costs each day in the shop. So that's my pork cut, and I'm going to do the same with my sausages. I'm going to just cut the sausages up. I'm not throwing that on the floor. There is a bin there. So with my sausages, again, just probably. Our sausages into 4. So there you have it, 2 pieces there, 4. So I've got 4 sausages. I'll cut into 4. And everything's looking good. I can hear my rice boiling away in the background. Oh, last one. So that's our sausages cooked. That's our pork cut, and everything's all ready to go. So I'm going to put the pork into a container ready. So we'll just recap on this. I'm just going to wash my hands because I've been on the meat. Right, so what have we got? We've got a diced pork, diced sausages, our sliced onions, our capsicum, green or pepper, whichever you want to call it. We've got our spring onions for afterwards for a garnish. So now let's get on with the cooking process. I've got some nice olive oil here. I've got it from Woolies. It wasn't that dear. Olive oil is good to cook with, but remember, don't overheat olive oil because you'll burn it. It will burn and it will get a real funny taste. So you want it hot, but not smoky hot. So I'm just going to stand back and I'll show you. That's my pan. Remember I said I use my wok for everything because it's deep and it's easy to cook. So I'm just putting enough oil in the bottom just to start it off, because remember this pork and the sausages have got a lot of fat content, so they really bring it out. So we just light my stove and put my pan on. Excuse me. Rice is looking good. I have to give that a stir in a minute. I think somebody's put me some trick matches. No, I'm only joking. Air, I think it wouldn't set it down. I might just have to excuse myself or I get a lighter from in the bedroom. Just try once more. There we go. That's the heat on. Got a pan on. A bit of going, didn't it? Said I wasn't a Boy Scout. Well, I was, but I got thrown out. So there you go. Never liked him anyway. His son was one of the what do you call them, sixers or whatever. Never liked him. No, it was a nice bird. Just me and the Boy Scout bit didn't really go down. I'll probably make a good brownie. Anyway, we've got our heat on. Let's get that boiling, get it nice and warm, not too hot. The first thing we'll put in there when it's ready are the onions. And then we'll put the pork. And then we'll put the sausages. So in the pan go the onions. So you see the onions in there. We'll give them a quick fry there, get the heat going. I'm just going to stand up again and check my rice, so excuse me to see me back. I think I'm keeping my shirt down today, so you won't get excited. There we go. Oh. Just with a slotted spoon, I'm just stirring my rice. Yeah, it's on the boil, but it's got a while to go yet. I always taste it. Still like bullets. So we'll let that go a little bit longer. Now, in the wok, the onions are sizzling away. They're all coated in oil. I'm now going to add my pork. And I'm going to add my sausages. And we'll give them a good stir through that oil and onions, get some nice flavour. Pretty, I don't know if you can hear, but you can hear it sizzling away while you're close by. But it's going to be really nice. You'll enjoy this, I'm sure. Anyway, I'm going to let that brown off a little bit. So, what can we talk about today? Well, that's happening. Like I said before, we've just had a flyer made up, and it's available through, well, will be available through Men of Hope with Gerard Russo, who is the facilitator and main man, or I'm not sure you'll be able to get it through Black Swan Media. It just shows you what we're going to be doing, the cooking, tells you how to get in contact with us, when we're doing it. Because there's also not just the online cooking, but we will be starting our cooking classes at either Duncraig or Greenwood. I'm not sure where yet, but they're great fun. Even if you don't cook, they're good to come along just as a social. People do sit down and don't cook. We have a chat, we have a laugh. It usually takes about 4 hours a session, but the cooking probably could be a couple of hours. But because we all have a chat and a cup of coffee and talk about different things, it's a social group. Anyway, I'll just get back to this. It's sizzling away. Yeah, get it nice and brown. I'm going to put the kettle on as well because I'll need some hot water in a minute. Get the sauce, take the lid off the sauce. Yep. I've got the stock cube. Well, unwrap the stock cube ready for when we want to use it. And I'll show you a little trick with the stock cube in a minute. That's not a trick, I'm sure you all do it anyway, but when I took the sauce in, as you remember last time, I always put some hot water in afterwards to get the lid of the jar out. I put the stock cube in then the hot water will melt the stock cube rather than me chase it around the frying pan. And I'll tip that in, so it kills 2 birds with 1 stone there. So that's good. Bit of a stir. Looking good.
Oh, hello, Kevin.
Oh, here comes Bo, the next door neighbour. Obviously, you smelled the goodies.
I did, yes.
Good.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. Me or the dish?
Both.
Oh, there you go. Thank you very much. Okay, so we've got the pork and things on. We're going to tip some of our tomato sauce in there, and we're going to take our stock cube over the kettle. Now, some of you are probably saying, he hasn't put the capsicum in yet, or the pepper, and that's deliberate, because I like it to be quite crisp. So I put it in, once this sauce is cooking, I'll put it in, and it will sort of just to come out al dente. It'll be really nice. So, as I said, there's my jar, there's my stock cube, in it goes. Bit of hot water, not too hot. Put the lid back on. Give it a bit of a shake. The old hokey pokey, and turn around. So that's going to be that. Stock cube's melted and in it goes.
Oh, lovely.
So we're going to give it another stir. And I don't know if you can see that, but it's nice and red and colourful there. So we'll put that back on. Just going to put a lid on it, so keep the heat going. Going to check the rice again. Nearly there. Nearly there. And don't forget, I've still got my butter beans. The butter beans were what I washed under the tap just now to get rid of the water or the brine they were in the can with.
Yeah.
Hello, Gerard. Here comes the boss now. He's just walked in.
Hi, Bo.
Hello, Gerard.
Good to see you.
Actually,
Great.
Gerard's been playing around with the cameras today. Didn't quite work out, but we've just named him Gerard Spielberg. But he likes to have a go. But it was good. It's just a shame it didn't work this time, but we will for next time. Okay. I'm just going to prepare my colander and everything ready to drain the rice.
Smells delicious.
That's good.
While Kev's busy doing a few things, perhaps I can just mention, if you don't know yet, Kev's really a person that's been in the food industry. He's a chef. He used to run a few places, like in England, a few pubs, like I think was it 15 pubs?
I had 19 pubs in London.
19 pubs?
There were pubs that the company was going to sell, so I had to look after, make sure they ran and kept them going, even though the managers never knew they were going to be losing their jobs. But most of them stayed on with companies who bought them out, so it was good fun, hard work.
You even cooked for the royal family?
Yes, I was at Arborfield Garrison. When was that? Back in 2000, and we had Prince Philip and Prince Charles come to Haysbrook Officers' Mess, and they came for a meeting and something to eat, and I was part of quite a large brigade. But yeah, we cooked for the royal family. It was good fun. It was a nightmare actually, because they kept wanting to bring in security dogs to check out the kitchen. There were no bombs. I kept telling them, you can't bring a dog in the kitchen. I don't care who it is. We'd already been through 20 security checks just to get in. You know, the tomatoes were checked. There were grenades, you name it. It was done. I'm just going to take this rice off now.
So while Kev's taking the rice off, I take the liberty to say that we've got our own cooking book, which is, I would say, easily about 60 pages long. And we'll put these recipes that Kev cooks, we'll put them on a YouTube channel as well as the videos. And then in future, you guys can look at the video, download the recipes as well.
No problem. Thanks, Gerald. Thanks for that. Keep going on about it. That's our rice straight in there.
Mmm. You cooked on an oil rig, didn't you?
I've cooked everywhere, Bo. I've had to go everything. I just did a relief job out there in the North Sea. Scary, but it was good fun. Not scary once you got out. Scary, didn't it? Right, so now, this is coming on lovely. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put my butter beans in. And I'm going to put my capsicum in, or pepper. I'm going to give it a stir around. Oh, it's looking good. Smelling good. Looks good. Another thing the Spanish do a lot with this as well. They put little potatoes in, and quite often they'll cook the potato first in garlic, and so they're really garlicky and crunchy. And they put them in a bit like a crouton in a soup. And believe me, they are really nice. The Spanish like their garlic, and they like potatoes. I'm sure there's a bit of Irish in them somewhere. But anyway, that's another story. Let's get ourselves ready now. Now we've got nice plates. You've got a nice crockery set. These oval plates are great. I used them last week for the omelettes. I used them for my pasta. I've got bowls as well. But I found these cheap and they're really good. So we're going to have a nice plate. Spring onions. I'm just going to put some black pepper in with our meat, with our sauce and sausages.
I can't wait, Kevin. It's just gorgeous.
That's good.
Mmm.
Mind you, you like the cheese and tomato sandwich as well. No, only joking. So we've got a black pepper in. Just going to give it a bit of a stir. And put the lid back on. Now I'm going to serve some rice, which has been draining. And just get a ladle or a spoon out for our sauce. So we've got a nice ladle. Just going to put this cloth down because I'm going to carry the pan over. Turn my gas off, get my pan.
What's it
That's
called?
what it looks like. What's it called?
Yeah.
Bo Special.
Oh, lovely.
No, it's as I said at the beginning, Bo. It's a Spanish style dish. It's got pork and sausage, chorizo sausages.
Oh yeah.
And you can smell the capsicum in it. It's really nice.
Lovely. Nice, fresh, crunchy capsicum.
Yeah, the best way to have it. Oh. And a little bit of spring onions on the top, like we said earlier on. And that's what we have today. We have our pork with sausages, chorizo, beans, capsicum, and rice. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. And we'll say bye-bye for today, and we'll catch up with you next week when I'll have a think of something to do for that. Maybe chicken next week. Okay, guys, thanks very much. See you later. Bye.